Hello, my name is Kaitlyn, and I have experience as an informal caregiver for my grandparents, and I've also worked as an in-home caregiver with formal training. In this video, I'm going to be discussing different ways to assist your care recipient when transferring from different positions, such as sitting to standing, and different locations, such as from a bed to a wheelchair. For care recipients with limited mobility, the easiest way to change positions is to use a mobility device. Mobility devices such as gait belts, transfer boards, and transfer vests are crucial to ensuring that your care recipient is transferred safely and you are not putting yourself at risk for strain. These tools can also be used when there is a size difference between you and your care recipient so that you can more easily assist them. Each of these tools are relatively affordable and can be found online or in person at most stores that sell medical equipment. This is an example of a gait belt, also known as a walking belt. The gait belt is best for care recipients who have decent leg strength and mobility, but need help moving from sitting to standing, or who have balance issues. To use a gait belt, wrap the belt around the care recipient's waist and secure it. Make sure that the belt is snug enough that it won't slip off the waist, but isn't so tight that it's painful or too difficult to grab. You should be able to grab the belt on both sides comfortably. If using a gait belt on someone with balance issues, make sure to walk alongside them, preferably on the side of their weak leg if they have one, and use one hand to hold onto the belt. When helping your care recipient to stand, face towards the care recipient with feet shoulder width apart. Grab one or both sides of the gait belt, depending on what is needed, and begin a rocking motion to build momentum. Make sure that your knees are bent, your back is straight, and avoid lifting your care recipient using your back. Once you've gained some momentum using the rocking motion, pull the care recipient towards you until they are standing. When deciding which gait belt to purchase, consider ones that use clasps or buckles instead of belt loops, which may be more difficult to fasten. Also consider belts that have handles, which may be easier to grab and hold on to rather than just the belt itself. If you're feeling strain on your back when using a gait belt, ensure that your knees are bent and you're pulling with your arms. If this is still too difficult, consider using another tool that offers more support, such as a vest or transfer board, which we will discuss next. Transfer vests, also known as lift vests, work very similarly to gait belts, but can offer more support when helping a care recipient move from sitting to standing. A transfer vest provides more stability as you're lifting from the care recipient's torso as opposed to just their waist. Also, a vest is less likely to slip or move compared to a gait belt. To put the vest on, place it behind your care recipient and have them put their arms through the holes before securing it in front using the clasps. Then, using the same method as the gait belt, face the care recipient, lift from your legs, and use the handles to pull them towards you. When deciding whether to use a gait belt or a vest, consider the following. Does your care recipient only have balance issues? A gait belt might be most comfortable. Do they have muscle weakness and need assistance standing? A gait belt or a vest could work. Depending on their weight, a vest might be easier to use. Would they find a vest too constricting? If so, use a more heavy-duty gait belt. Considering the preferences and needs of your care recipient will help you decide on the right mobility tool for you and them. This is an example of a transfer board. Transfer boards, also known as slide boards, are used when moving from one surface to another, such as from a bed to a wheelchair. This tool is best for care recipients who have very limited leg movement, limited strength, or balance issues. The two surfaces must be at similar height when using a transfer board. When using a transfer board, it's also best practice to use a gait belt so that you can have a better grip on your care recipient when moving them. Once the gait belt is secure, ensure that the two surfaces, such as the bed and wheelchair, are close enough together that the transfer board can reach both surfaces. Then, put one end of the board beneath the leg or backside area of your care recipient. Once they are at least halfway sitting on the board, you can begin to slide them across the board towards the other surface. Placing your knee between their knees and using the gait belt will help you slide them across the board. Once they are close enough to the new surface, use the gait belt to slowly set them down and remove the transfer board. When picking which board to buy, consider the weight of your care recipient and ensure that it doesn't exceed the weight limit specified by the board. Also, consider the material that the board is made of, most commonly wood or plastic. Wood can hold higher weights but is heavier and may be more difficult for the caregiver to move or clean. Plastic is more lightweight and easier to sanitize, but may not be strong enough for some care recipients. Also, consider looking for curved boards, as this can improve transferring between certain surfaces, and non-slip pads can also make the board more secure when on slippery surfaces. Whether you decide to use a gait belt, transfer vest, transfer board, or another device not mentioned in this video, make sure to consider your care recipient's comfort, safety, and needs to ensure that you're using the most appropriate device for your situation. These are just a few of the most commonly used mobility aids to improve the ease of transferring and improve safety for both you and your care recipient. Hopefully this video shed some light on your options for mobility tools and showed you some best practices for implementing them. Remember to go slowly, readjust when needed, and always research when you are unsure. In the description, there is a one-page infographic summarizing the information from this video that you can print and have on hand. If you'd like more videos like this, check out my YouTube channel, Caring for the Caregiver. Take care.